Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're doing something I'm absolutely super excited about. We're going to literally tear apart a single, breathtaking cinematic shot and rebuild it from the ground up. We're talking about taking traditional filmmaking theory and just smashing it together with cutting-edge AI prompting and 3D rendering. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, so here is our blueprint. This is the holy grail shot we are building today. We want a slow-motion, cinematic clip of a group of children laughing and running through a futuristic, colorful forest, chased playfully by a friendly, glowing green alien creature. We want the camera tracking sideways, vibrant colors, a high-detail lens flare, and just total, absolute immersion.
So how do we actually pull this off? Well, we're going to tackle this in 5 layers. Building a solarpunk world, nailing that lateral tracking shot, prompting for slow motion, designing a friendly alien, and finally, perfecting the lens flare.
Let's jump into Layer 1, building a solarpunk world, the aesthetic of optimism.
You know, cyberpunk, right? Neon, concrete, sprawling cityscapes. That very gritty, high-tech, low-life vibe. Well, solarpunk is its completely optimistic cousin. Solarpunk imagines this utopian vision that's infused with nature, powered by renewable energy, and heavily inspired by flowing Art Nouveau shapes. So, for our scene, we aren't just slapping some trees into a futuristic city. We're imagining a world where advanced tech works in total joyful harmony with nature.
To really anchor this environment, we got to think like an arc of biotech. It's this brilliant architectural concept where you blend lush greenery, bioclimatic rules, and renewable energy right into the structures themselves. By combining dense vegetation with sustainable high-tech design, our futuristic forest instantly feels vibrant and livable. It's the perfect playground for kids to be running through.
All right, Layer 2, the lateral tracking shot, moving through space.
There are tons of ways to move a camera. You've got your dolly, circular, drone, reverse, but for this specific shot, we absolutely need a lateral track. It moves completely sideways, keeping perfect pace with the running kids and our alien while continually revealing that lush solarpunk landscape slipping by in the background. It creates this incredible dynamic sense of speed.
And here's a crucial distinction. A pan shot just pivots in place. It's fixed on a tripod. But a tracking shot, the camera physically moves through space alongside the subject. That parallax effect, where the foreground objects whiz by faster than the background, that's exactly what makes the audience feel like they are literally running right there alongside the kids.
Moving right along to Layer 3, prompting for slow motion, bending time with AI.
When you're generating cinematic motion with AI, you can't just type a basic wish list. You have to put on your director's hat and write a highly specific shot list. It's basically a 4-step formula. First, define your subject, environment, and mood. Second, specify the exact camera type and movement. Third, dictate your timing and speed. And fourth, add some atmospheric visual effects.
Let's look at the exact words that make the magic happen. Phrases like cinematic slow motion, ultra smooth, and 120 FPS feeling. Now, the AI model doesn't literally render 120 frames per second, but by using these specific phrases, you teach it to simulate that ultra smooth, time-stretched look. And by adding floating dust particles and controlled motion blur, you give the model physical anchors in the air to slow down. That completely sells the illusion of bent time.
Next up, our scene needs its star. Layer 4, designing a friendly alien, the Paul Blueprint.
Creating a photorealistic alien that kids are actually playing with is tough. The VFX team at Double Negative figured out that you have to balance traditional features, like the big head, with deeply humanizing traits. You need large, lustrous eyes with real depth and a warm, natural skin tone. If you go with hyper-detailed reptilian textures, it instantly becomes creepy. It has to feel grounded and relatable. But here is the real secret sauce, and this hits the nail on the head. You don't have to turn the alien into a giant, cuddly teddy bear. The physical design only goes so far. It's all about the performance. The playful, clumsy animation of the alien laughing and stumbling as it chases the kids, that is what ultimately sells its friendliness far more than big cartoon proportions ever could.
We've got our world, our camera, our time-bending pacing, and our character. Now for Layer 5, perfecting the lens flare, the finishing touches. To make that glowing green alien in the vibrant, sun-drenched forest totally pop, we rely on optical imperfections. In 3D rendering, this comes down to 2 post-processing effects, bloom and glare. Bloom gives us that soft, dreamy, atmospheric glow around the bright spots.
Glare, on the other hand, gives us those sharp, cinematic streaks of light that make it look like a real physical camera lens is reacting to the sun.
If you want it to look real, you gotta go deep. Look at these steps 3D artists at Blau Films use for custom apertures. You don't just slap a bright spot on a render. You actually adjust the virtual aperture blades to dictate the number of light streaks. You tweak the occlusion for that amazing, wide, anamorphous squeeze. You add peripheral grading for a subtle halo. And you even apply virtual lens scratches so the light scatters realistically. It is literally the imperfections that make the digital image feel real.
And where you place that light changes everything. Just look at what Academy Award-winning cinematographer Mauro Fiore did in the digital jungles of Avatar. Utilizing strong, intentional light beams creates incredible depth of field. The lens flare and those volumetric light rays act as a guide, pulling the audience's eye straight through the complex forest and right to the emotional center of our shot, the laughing kids and their alien friend.
So, let's recap our layers. Building a solar punk world, the lateral tracking shot, prompting for slow motion, designing a friendly alien, and perfecting the lens flare.
Understanding how a breathtaking shot is made means understanding how all these distinct disciplines seamlessly combine. We took a highly specific vision, a slow-motion clip of kids and an alien in a solar punk forest, and we built it. Now that you know the recipe to deconstruct and rebuild the magic of cinema using today's tech, the only question left is, with the tools of cinema and AI right at your fingertips, what world will you build next? Thank you for joining me on this explainer, and I seriously cannot wait to see what you create.